Michael Crichton was an American doctor, author, screenwriter, director and producer born in 1942. With the exception of his first and last movie, he only filmed his own scripts. Until his death in 2008, he wrote 26 novels and 11 screenplays. As in 1971 for the 3 episodes of an US anthology series with religious themes, which 250 episodes ran from 1960 to 1983. Or the 1973's Extreme Close-Up aka Sex Through a Window, here in Germany The Silent Witness, which to me unfortunately was not available for a statement. What a shame. But also for Emergency Room, one of the most successful TV series ever. The more than 300 episodes of what I consider to be by far the best hospital series, with James Newton Howard's iconic theme music, aired from 1994 to 2009. His 2004 novel State of Fear is about eco-terrorists who want to trigger an artificial seaquake to keep the world in fear of climate change. Crichton was known for attacking the bogus science behind the global warming hoax. And like any real scientist, he did not believe in man-made global warming. More about this biggest scam of all time in the Capricorn 1 special. He adapted some of his books himself or wrote the screenplay as in Rising Sun. His twister wheels through the Yandhi Bond special. The 13th Warrior fights in the John McTiernan retrospective. For Coma, Westworld and Jurassic Park, see the same named retrospectives, and his novel adaptations, where he was neither involved in directing nor writing, can be found in the Andromeda special. In the passable 1972 US television thriller Pursuit, someone tries to carry out a poison gas attack at a political party meeting by combining 2 different chemicals, which an FBI agent tries to prevent. Crichton's directorial debut is based relatively faithfully, the book is somewhat more detailed, on his 11th published novel Binary from the same year. It was the 8th and last time he used the pen name John Lang. At the time, the production company insisted that at least the screenplay for the rookie director be written by a professional. It was also his first collaboration with film composer Jerry Goldsmith, who later scored several of his directorials. The Great Train Robbery from 1978, based on the same named 1975 novel, is about the actual theft of gold from a moving train in 1855, historically known as the Great Gold Robbery, on which Crichton's book is loosely based. Here, the gentleman thief Edward Pierce plans the robbery in Victorian England over months of preparation using observation, bribery and deception. To this end, he and his accomplices secretly obtain impressions of the safe keys, lead bars as weight dummies and finally access to the wagon. The First Great Train Robbery, the original title of the British production, because there the 1963 robbery is called The Great Train Robbery, with iconic, often quoted and copied score by Jerry Goldsmith, is very well cast and carefully staged. Made twice of the estimated $6 to $7 million budget just in the US back, and is considered a financial and critical success. The extremely entertaining heist fun tells the same story as the more detailed novel in a much faster and funnier way. The novel recounts the events straightforward and objective in retrospect, based on the subsequent court case with a narrator. Movie and book are both very good, and paint especially the novel, which also goes with some of the historical events of the time in much more detail, an astonishingly accurate, carefully researched picture of the period.
So perfect in every way.
In Looker from 1981, here in Germany released as No Off-the-Shelf Murder, photo models from commercials, all of whom had cosmetic surgery involving minimal adjustments, barely visible, in principle completely unnecessary, fall victim to a mysterious series of accidents.
But when she smiles, is she really smiling? She's the only one who really knows.
Their surgeon comes under suspicion, who finally investigates on his own with the fourth and last model, and in the process comes across the sinister company Digital Matrix, which makes decisions according to the instructions of an all-calculating computer, a kind of AI. Which has further development in television advertising using light pulses to subconsciously influence consumers, and has arranged for some models cosmetic surgery to make them perfect, maximize their visual impact. When the effect failed to materialize, the decision was made to use from now on only digital computer models, for which actors willing to sell their likeness receive a lifelong paycheck and never have to work again, as their digitals appear from then on in commercials.
Emerald eyes, so cool and so inviting. Hide the side, she never shows. She's a looker, that's what they say. She's got it all, yeah, she's got it made. She's a looker with the beautiful face, always on display.
To get rid of the models from the failed attempt, they were turned by a killer with a light pulse device, a kind of hypnotic gun, into involuntary suicides.
The magazines always show her smiling, so perfect in every way. But in the night, I hear a young girl crying. She's got it all, she's got it made. She's a looker, that's what they say. She's got it all, yeah, she's got it made. She's a looker with the beautiful face, always on display.
The frighteningly far-sighted insider tip, with a very nice Barry DeForson soundtrack and same-named cult theme song by Sue Sutt, made just $3 million of its $8 to $12 million costs in the US back, and was a flop that received mostly negative feedback. The initially entertaining mixture of science fiction and thriller hardly makes any sense in the second half, also thanks to an important scene that was cut, which villain actor James Coburn later complained about in an interview, and falls completely apart. As a viewer, you don't understand why the models were killed in the first place. After all, the fourth agreed to the scanning and contract terms to use her likeness. In the missing sequence, the villain explains that the perfected models could draw the competition to conclusions about their computer's capabilities. Whatever. The movie clearly warns of the total manipulation by technology, and shows many things that are no longer fiction, but reality, like commercial computer-generated images, deepfakes, here using the example of a politician, tracking of viewing habits and targeted advertising, electronic building surveillance, entry with security cards, cleaning robots, decisions made by algorithms based on statistics, and so on. According to the synopsis, Runaway from 1984 is set in the near future, 1985 to be precise, according to the main character's file, so it really can't get much nearer than that, where robots are part of everyday life and routinely hunted down by a special police department when they get out of control. Just as their experienced chief is assigned a rookie partner, the first murder by a robot suddenly occurs, and he discovers an integrated circuit in one of the machines that bypasses safety functions and contains a direct kill command. Further investigations reveal that the military had the chip developed to control robot spiders for secret execution missions, and one of the scientists involved is selling the weapon to criminals. Even if you get to see some future technologies/developments that are no longer fiction today, surveillance drones, automatic smart bullets, robots taking over jobs, voice control and constant monitoring of all communication, log in without a password, via retina scan, flat screens, tablets, hardly any of this really comes into its own. Thanks to the far too predictable cliched story, experienced corp with an unresolved trauma, here the fear of heights, a constantly angry superior and a new inexperienced partner, and the conventional realization. The moderately exciting US science fiction made not even 7 of its $8 million budget in the US back, and was another flop that received mostly mixed to negative feedback. I found the basic idea very interesting, but the artificial deadly spiders, even back then, just looked silly and cheap. After a good start, there were no more surprises, and it quickly degenerates into the usual chase thriller with a lame construction site final. In Physical Evidence from 1989, an ambitious young public defender takes on the case of a suspended hot-headed ex-cop. In the process, the lawyer, the German title, becomes more and more personally entangled in the seemingly hopeless murder case.
She's a looker, that's what they say. She's got it all, yeah, she's got it made. She's a looker with a beautiful face, always on
And finally provokes its solution through a risky maneuver. The contrived story, with convenient memory gaps and sometimes nonsensical acting characters, rightly received mostly negative reviews. Did not even make in the US $4 million of the $17 million budget back, and was another flop.
See the face reflected in the mirror. With every move, the picture's getting clearer.
In Rising Sun from 1993 by Philip Kaufman, see also Invasion of the Body Snatchers. In a meeting room at an US-Japanese company corporation party, a high-class call girl is found murdered. A mismatched duo, LAPD contact officer Webb Smith and Japan specialist John Connor, investigate under increasing political pressure. Also, evidence has been falsified using the most sophisticated technical means available. The Cradle of the Sun, the German movie title, grossed more than $100 million worldwide at costs of $40 million, and received rather mixed feedback across the board. You can really only enjoy this exciting, fast-paced thriller with outstanding Sean Connery and the beautiful soundtrack by Toru Takemitsu if you don't know the original.
She walks into a room, people stop and stare, but she just looks away as if she didn't care. She's a looker, that's what they say. She's got it all, yeah, she's got it made. She's a looker with a beautiful face, always on display.
Despite a similar plot at the first look, movie and book differ so much in many details, and especially in the message, such as the completely pointless change of Smith to an African American, that Crichton ended his collaboration on the screenplay prematurely. his tendentially anti-Japanese, extremely interesting novel from the previous year in Germany, Nippon Connection, which caused some discussion due to its alleged racism, describes in great detail how it seemed at the time as if Japanese corporations were taking over everything. Unlike in the so-called adaptation, there is no romantic interest between Smith and Asakuma. The movie also completely changes the identity of the killer.